my day-to-day, wake and pray, make that play, get some good at my place. There's some on the way, cause my bro's on the way. I got stones on my gold, I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer, so I'm putting on some weight. Said I'm getting thick, so I put it on display.
What is wrong here? I make a joke, everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my hell.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now...
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got... It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to...
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 24-yard line.
Mike's 56.
I got one.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
That's what I'm talking about.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 30-yard line.
Mike,
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the screen. He's checking. Hey, home. Crash.
Allen now looks to throw. That's complete to Sterling. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
3 buzz.
From the gun, it's Allen. It's caught, Shepard. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball, defense.
Now Gurley. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Yeah. You don't want none.
Slam. Check 43.
Watch that.
Check 26.
Go.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And a cutback right sideline. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings 6-yard line. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to 2nd and goal. At the
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
The first carry now. This is Williams. And same result. He's going to take this just to the line of scrimmage before running into a brick wall. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Allen now on 3rd and goal. It's caught here by Adams. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job finding that penalty.
And the 13-year man puts it through. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here we go. And read. Mike, number 53. That's it. 3. Get in the weight room.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target, and now it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Throwing is Jackson, and that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
At their own 48-yard line.
Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Kill. Check three, check. Regular. Alert. Let's go.
Now this time, Allen will throw. And that's complete to Adams. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
Half 10.
56.
Allen from the gun on third down. He gets it to Brown, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Here we go.
15 for the Niners there to first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On first down, it's Gurley. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown.
Let's go.
Todd Gurley, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0.
Niners 10, Vikings nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Mike's 5-4, Mike. Mike's 5-4.
Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Vikings. Will Fuller, 78 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Bullock good on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7.
That's the score, Niners 10, Vikings 7.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
That's 6, baby.
Todd Gurley, 82 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground?
Go.
He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some big jelly or something like that.
After the sack on first down, Jackson, man open is Keelan Cole, complete. After one, 17-7 is our score.
Pittsburgh. 53, Mike. Bravo. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Check. 53's Mike. Check.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run for it with Eckler. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Niners take over in terrific field position.
Right there.
Brown 80.
There, 54 Mike.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jamie Collins. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Let's get off the field.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Marquise Lee deep to return. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do.
54's Mike. Check.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
First down.
Ready. 54 Mike. Go. Ship. Tighten up. Under 10.
Running on
Under
first
10.
down, Eckler.
He's
got a little
We
daylight.
got double up.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Come on now. Let's go.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 46.
Number 53, Mike 53.
Here's Jackson.
Here we go.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jackson now throwing again. The throw taken in by Cole. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 27-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Sponge. No. Check your hot read.
They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
You're not ready. 53's the Mike. 53.
Jackson.
I'm trying to collect.
He'll get this to Eckler. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. Nice pickup for a first down.
Now it's Carson.
Check.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Switch. No. Any weapon. Check the backer.
To throw is Jackson. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Keelan Cole, his 4th touchdown on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Now Bullock to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game.
Makes the score Niners 17, Vikings 14.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. That's the key to this drive.
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
To throw, it's Allen. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. We get slap happy up here sometimes.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up. And we'll break that one soon.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long. Jackson now.
Come on.
He's got Fuller. A well-executed 22-yard gain. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
No gain on this defense. No gain.
Let's go, let's go. Mike, number
Jackson.
53. Mike, 53.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And it's third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Check. 53. Run up. Check. 53.
On third down, Jackson. The connection made. It's Graham. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
A 37-yard attempt.
And Bullock will put this one through, and that will knot things up here late in the first half. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Their own 22-yard line.
Mike.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. That's fielded in the end zone. And an alley to run. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Vikings. That kickoff return, 104 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
We've sat in a lot of meetings, and they always talk about the offense taking advantage of beginning a half. Well, special teams coaches don't listen to that. They want to take advantage with their own unit, and they just did.
Yeah, they trailed in the locker rooms, and they changed that immediately.
I think they drew that one up special. That felt like something he pulled out of his pocket that he'd been holding for a while, and they were able to use it effectively.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go!
At their own 26-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Allen now looks to throw. That's complete to Sterling. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Boy, the run on first down a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Right there. 19. Right there. 54, Mike.
Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run. Say.
Again, they run with Gurley. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
56.
Long day.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack.
I'm gonna hit you
back at the 47-yard line. Eric Kendricks in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Let's go now.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, let's go. Zoom, zoom.
54's Mike, 54's Mike. Check, check, watch 54, watch 54. Hey, we got to get to the ball, T. We got to get to the ball.
Now Jackson. Got an open man, Keelan Cole. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Let's go, Mike. Hey, Lobo, 3's the Mike. Extreme, extreme,
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dean Lowry coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at about the 28. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Right there.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Hey, 180! Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Check 52.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 10 and a 49er 1st down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10.
Check safety, check safety.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Mike's round 80. Mike's 5-4. Here I come.
Throwing on second down. Allen, and they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Middle. Single receiver.
On third and long, it's Allen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
You got nothing. Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. So don't say nothing.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Wahoo.
Here we go.
Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Mike's
Looking to throw on second down. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Right there, 54 Mike.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He finds his target, Fuller. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run here with Eckler. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the Niners' 41-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, baby. Return up. Let's get that ball. Let's get that ball. Check 13. Check 13. Switch. Go. Kill. Haywood.
Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Watch the curls. That's it. 54's Mike. 54's Mike.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw.
Now watch one.
And Graham's got it. Complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Let's go.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson.
Hey, here I come.
And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield. Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
On 2nd and 9, Allen, he gets it to Gurley, complete. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Williams. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. CRob27's up to make the tackle. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Mike 54. Watch switch. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Mike's 5-4. Hey, here we go. 54's Mike. Alert! Watch 54. Go.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Allen. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
I'm coming after you. Hey, watch Sam. Here we go.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd.
Here we go.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. One score down. Here we go.
Check 56.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Allen going to go on 4th down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by CRob27's. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Echo. 54.
From the 25 on 2nd down. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Mike's 54. Squeeze. Coming to you.
Jackson from the shotgun. And finding Keelan Cole. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Let's go.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10.
Back. Watch twist. Watch twist.
They run it with Carson. Avery Williamson there to make the stop. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. Hey, get in the weight room.
From the 45 on second down, Jackson. He's letting this one. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now it's Gurley. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all. And it leaves them with third and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
Mike 56. Mike 56.
Allen now to throw on third down. And this one complete to Reed. And the ball is knocked out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
56. Check 56.
God, not ready.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a first down carry. It's Williams.
Yeah, baby.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist.
Alert!
54. Mike's 54.
Come on. You better bring it.
Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4".
Regular.
You better get ready.
Go.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10.
Half. Mike 56.
Now Allen.
Game situation. Let's go.
He's going to dump it off to Gurley. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
The second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Hey, we got to get the stop here, D.
He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Mike 56.
Hey, Charlie.
56.
Oh, looked like they got someone to jump there. And if that's the case, this will be a 1st down. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there? Yeah, maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Talk about nice hit, boy.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the Vikings' 19-yard line.
Shift.
Half 10. Check 9.
Check 99. Check 99. Hatchet.
Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Pretty quiet.
Back to throw. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Now Crosby for the point after. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
That ties the game 24-24. Mason Crosby set to kick off.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hey, we heavy on the edges.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
I got you. Hey, watch the edge.
Shift.
Check, 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 check three, check three.
Hey, alert three, alert three.
Go.
Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4". Mike's 5'4".
This is Carson.
Pick me up.
And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10.
Check, 53's Mike. Check, 53's Mike. Cut, go. Ready, Mike.
Now
53's
Jackson.
the Mike.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the
And
ball.
he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Right there, 54, right there. 54 Mike. Man, I got you. Check nickel. Joker.
Delta.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Keelan Cole, the intended target, but now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
What we got? Mike's 54. Mike, yo. 54. I got you.
Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4".
Here's Jackson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
How you do it? Let's seal this game, boy.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Okay, double up, double up, double up, double up. Watch the ship, watch the ship. Hey, hey, watch the ship, watch the ship. Go.
Another carry now for Gurley. And some room to work. 31 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Check 31, check 31. Gun.
First throw of overtime for Allen. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Monday. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Now Williams. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Opening drive of overtime, and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. To the air, Allen dancing to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jordan Willis able to record his 5th sack of the season. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And it is incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
A quick throw finding Lee out wide.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Mike 54. Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl. Zoom. Watch the twist. 49, check 49, check 49. 66, bullet, high. Wide. Leo. Wide, get wide. Hey, check 24, watch 24. Check. Fresno.
On 2nd down now. It's Carson, and this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Big edge.
Hunt 64. Weak. Gone. Under crunch. Check.
Here's Carson.
Check. Alert 3.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard.
Mike, 53. Watch the backer, watch the backer.
Now Anderson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. He connected on his first, this from 41. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for Minnesota, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.